Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today is Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. This is another update on the Calendar Invite server. I did some yesterday. This is just I would say, hopefully a performance improvement in content delivery. So let's get going. So the Calendar Invite server is on AWS. It's our creation. It's 5 years old. We've had about 4,000 customers use it all across the world. In particular, the last 3 years, we've been working on a concept around jamming a bunch of data into the Calendar Invite server. That data here is displayed in something that no one else does, at least on the consumer marketing end or business to business end, and that is attempt to jam a couple hundred events, 500 events, and up to a couple thousand events in a deployable calendar. That really becomes a schedule or scheduler, we like to say. This scheduler here we built for NBA, MLB, and NFL. Has various life forms. The current life form itself we like a lot, and the customer feedback is good. Is a scrollable monthly where you can click through the months. You can visualize gains by the day, and then you can go into them with one email address here at the top, and then click one button here and get a calendar invite, which the calendar invite itself will be tracked by the organizer, and we'll get more into that. But this calendar invite button is injected. You see this little button here, send invite, send invite, send invite across the NBA, MLB, and NFL. This button here is auto injected into the page. It's a REST API for sending a calendar invite. So on a consumer level, we make it really easy. Put an email address here at the top of the page. They click which game they want to go to. Then that game is sent and reconstructed on the fly in the calendar invite server we built on AWS, in which you can actually track that data as the organizer. So let's get into it. Not too far into the weeds. Simply said, the calendar client itself is actually running the front-end machine. The front-end machine for the calendar event data is your own Google or Outlook client. This data was uploaded. You can see the detail here. 2,400 MLB games was uploaded. That upload took less than an hour into my personal calendar client. That data is available at fixturedownload.com for global sports. They're really easy to manage and actually ingest data. You ingest the data onto your personal or business calendar for Google or Microsoft, and then you automate the sending of that using a browser operator with AI, or what's called an AI-operated browser, which can go in and send these events to this particular email box. This email box becomes a linear pipeline. That pipeline hits an API for the AWS SES box. The details of each individual game are deconstructed, stored in a Dynamo database, and then upon recall, using our APIs, our 9 APIs, these pages are recreated on the fly, and it's a pretty cool thing. So this is where the actual data comes from when it hits the API itself. It's actually contained in a DynamoDB database. That means, though, I can use my engine here in my my calendar client to actually create, edit, save, and delete events that are in the calendar invite server itself. We did this to optimize the calendar clients themselves. There's been billions of dollars spent on the calendar clients over the last 30 years to develop them on desktop and mobile devices, where our technology does work communicating to the calendar invite server itself. So this is more exploded detail on how we did it for the NBA. It's the same for NFL and MLB. Again, data is uploaded and automated into a personal business calendar. We communicate with our Dropbox. This Dropbox has an ETL pipeline for inbound processing. We view that data via an API. This API gateway is calling on the 6 to 9 APIs needed to basically display data and then insert these calendar invite buttons into the pages themselves. This process is all automated. So once you jam the data in, you can visualize it with the front end we built for y'all. When you buy the calendar invite server, you get that, as well as a nifty reporting engine. And what the customer gets of yours is a particular calendar invite. That calendar invite can have merch, tickets, or third-party promotion information inserted into it by the organizer. You can see that we have a visualization engine here on the left. And as we step through the visualization part for the organizer dashboard, what it really is just a bunch of APIs displaying calendar invite data here. And then the generation of this page here, believe it or not, is a one-button push. You generate the page, you share it, customer puts in their email address, clicks one button, gets the calendar invitation, which we track on the back end. Now, as I get into the demo, I'm showing how Zach, the organizer here, configures a shareable sports page. So down to a granular level, Zach is in the configuration management of a multi-event landing page. He configures the sporting event. This front end is a bunch of single page apps. This comes with the calendar invite server, which you install with a CloudFormation template into your account. It snaps into AWS Simple Email Service. It's got a bunch of lambdas and functions, which are all automated. Don't need to know anything about it. It will install on your account in less than an hour and then configured, and you're up and running with your own RSVP domain for your own brand. The point being here is that you can configure this right out of the box, develop these really cool schedules, and share them with your customers downstream for merchandise tickets and third-party announcements. They can be updated, and that's the coolest part of really our messaging here. What I'm showing you all here, though, is one-click preview generates this really cool, nifty scheduling page for the MLB, NBA, or NFL. Mandy comes by, inserts her email address, clicks a button, clicks a couple buttons, gets these calendar invites, in which you, the organizer, will be tracking. So in a more granular detail, you'll see here the screen on the left, and then you see where Mandy inserted the email up yonder. Click the buttons. Here's our her particular calendar invite sent to her inbox and show up on her calendar. When she communicates and sends her email, or excuse me, her calendar invite messaging back, yes, no, maybe, we actually collect that data. We do that because we're the only ones in the business when we send out these calendar invites. We actually have it follow a protocol for basically asking the participant to actually communicate back via these buttons, and these buttons collect the data, send it back to an API gateway, and then at all times we're monitoring your customers downstream for what they're doing with their calendar clients, so we can insert last-minute promotions and or gauge interest with their particular topics for the events. So we have detailed reporting in the Calendar Snack front end. That front end kit's a demo kit. That's elaborated with single page apps. That comes bundled with the Calendar Invite server for free. You can see all the great nifty data in which we present, including an email report for privacy reasons can be sent back to the organizer of the event. And then inside that are the particular people put their email addresses into the sporting pages, and we collect that data on a per event basis. So what it looks like for someone like Zach, the organizer, it's as simple as this. If in fact he's running the ship for 2,400 events, he can actually go in and, or in this case here was for 850 events for the, or excuse me, 1,250 events for the NBA. What Zach did here was go into a particular event. He changed an update offer. So somebody downstream here already had this on their calendar, and that was Mandy. So what he did was he changed his messaging here and inserted a merch offer. Come by booth 393 at the NBA game. The NBA game was for the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. He inserted a update into the original calendar event on his calendar. And because the state manager was the create at calendarsnack.com, which was the endpoint for him, he basically pushed an update under edit and save that went to the API gateway. It refreshed the screen and all the content of the display APIs, of course. And I'm showing you that right here. And then what happened downstream is Mandy, who already received a calendar invitation off this page here, received a calendar invite update with the merch offer in it for update number 1. She said, or she received the merch offer to go to booth 393 for 25% off that merch for that particular game. It got inserted into her calendar event and the invite itself onto her personal calendar. And she saw that and said yes. And then we collect that data back here with the data collection engine. And then it refreshes the report engine on the back. Now, as I sum this up, if you do install this on your AWS Simple Email Service inside your AWS account to do schedules like this for marketing to large, I would say very large customer clients downstream, that the data itself is organized under the organizers, under the domain. So the concept here is you have multiple users of the stack within your AWS SES domain. We collect all those authorized users that can use it in your account, and those are summarized in the organizer dashboard here for the domain itself. So in this snapshot here on the left where my cursor is, we sent out 3,000 calendar invites. We've had 32 organizers with this particular domain itself in the recent period of the last 30 days. And then this data here is summarized here for upcoming events and new events and past events. And then you'll see the recently created events by the organizer here, me, who's created these events for the MLB. You can drill into these event details and see what's going on at an event detail level. And that sums up this rather lengthy demo. And if you hung in there with me to the end, thanks very much on this day here in March 2026.